Zakaria emphasizes the need for America to improve its image abroad. He points to the Iraq War as having a hugely detrimental effect on how America is viewed by the rest of the world. As he puts it, what does Mexico or Chile care about who rules in Baghdad? It was about how the world's superpower wields its power. That's something we all care deeply about. Zakaria believes that even if Iraq finally works out, it will solve only the Iraq problem. The America problem will remain. Zakaria sets out 6 guidelines for how America can successfully operate in a post-American world. Number 1, choose. The United States could easily fall into an imperial trap.
Admiral, we have enemy ships in Sector 47. It's a trap.
Every crisis around the world demands its attention and action, distracting the country from larger strategic issues. Zakaria says Washington needs to stop the centuries-old task of adjudicating between Sunnis and Shiites and focus on China, India, and Brazil, where the future is being made. Number 2, build broad rules, not narrow interests. This means recommitting to international institutions and mechanisms. In an age of rising new powers, the United States' overriding goal should be to create a structure of rules, practices, and values by which the world will be bound.
Now for our What in the World segment. What got my attention this week was a claim by Iran's President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. This one isn't about nuclear weapons or Israel or the Holocaust, it's about execution. President Ahmadinejad claims that there is a death penalty double standard. On the one hand, he says the Western world is coming down on Iran because it may put a woman to death by stoning. And on the other hand, nobody protests against the execution this week of a woman in America. Okay.
Number 3, be Bismarck, not Britain. Britain tried to balance against rising and threatening powers, but otherwise kept a low profile on the European continent. Bismarck, by contrast, chose to engage with all the great powers. His goal was to have better relations with all of them than any of them had with each other. Thus, the nation becomes a pivot in an international system. Number 4, order à la carte. Zakaria believes formal structures of peace, rooted in and directed through a couple of central organizations in Geneva and New York, is unrealistic. A more organic system where problems are addressed through a variety of systems is more durable. The structures he is referring to are NATO, the UN, and OAS. Number 5, think asymmetrically. Respond to problems proportionately and do not respond to bait like small attacks meant to draw attention. Foundations, universities, and charities are working more deeply and effectively abroad. Washington should learn more from these groups and encourage other Americans to get involved. Number 6, legitimacy is power. Legitimacy creates the means to set agendas, define crises, and mobilize support. American ideals and ideas still dominate debates like Darfur, nuclear weapons, and the economy. But Washington needs to understand that generating international public support for its view of the world is a core element of power, not merely an exercise in public relations.